21, the habit of indiscriminate spending. The spendthrift cannot succeed mainly because he stands eternally in the fear of poverty. Form the habit of systematic saving by putting aside a definite percentage of your income. Pay yourself first. Money in the bank gives one a very safe foundation of courage when bargaining for the sale of your services. Without money, one must take what one is offered and be glad to get it. We talked about this on a show a few weeks back. Always pay yourself first. And you go, well, I got to pay my bills. I got to pay my car. I got to pay my mortgage. No, you pay yourself first. It's your money. You're earning it. You pay yourself first. Make that a priority. 22, lack of enthusiasm. Without enthusiasm, one cannot be convincing. Moreover, enthusiasm is contagious, and the person who has it under control is generally welcome in any group of people. How are you guys doing so far here? Anything on the list striking you? Get your pen out, jot a couple of points down. Number 23, intolerance. The person with a closed mind on any subject seldom gets ahead. Intolerance means that one has stopped acquiring knowledge. Most damaging forms of intolerance are those connected with religious, racial, and political differences of opinion. I'm constantly trying to break down your intolerance. People have become so defensive and doubtful about what they're capable of. And even when I'm trying to help them get to where they want to go, and I know the change you need to make, and when I tell you the change you need to make, it all lines up, but you still become defensive and doubtful, and your mind is closed. 24, intemperance. The most damaging forms of intemperance are connected with eating, strong drink, and sexual activities. Overindulgence in any of these is fatal to your success. It's back to this notion of controlling yourself. 25, the inability to cooperate with others. More people lose their positions and their big opportunities in life because of this fault than for all other reasons combined. It is a fault which no well-informed business person or leader will tolerate. You've got to learn to cooperate with other people. And if you're not able to cooperate with other people, it's because you got something going on inside that you're latched onto, something that happened to you, something that somebody did to you, some mistake that you made, whatever. You're holding on to something that's getting in your way of the ability to cooperate with others. I was talking to somebody today about the challenge they were facing with somebody. And the person, just because of their own junk, doesn't have the ability to cooperate with other people. Now they're in conflict. 26, possession of power that was not acquired through self-effort. Sons and daughters of wealthy men and others who inherit money which they did not earn. Power in the hands of one who did not acquire it gradually is often fatal to success. Quick riches are more dangerous than poverty. And you hear all kinds of stories. I don't know if you've ever known anybody that's won a lot of money or inherited a lot of money that didn't have it before. Or you can look up all kinds of stories of people, they're rich one day and not very long later, they're back to poverty again. 27, intention dishonesty. There's no substitute for honesty. One may be temporarily dishonest by force of circumstances over which one has no control without permanent damage. But there's no hope for the person who is dishonest by choice. Sooner or later, his deeds will catch up and he will pay by loss of reputation and perhaps even loss of liberty. 28, egotism and vanity. These qualities serve as red lights which warn others to keep away. They are fatal to success. When I first started working with Bob, he quoted a guy named Howard Banal. He was saying to me, Doug, he said, don't ever make this about you. He said, don't ever let your ego take over. Get really good at what you do a good job, provide great service, but don't ever make this about you. And Howard Banal, that he quoted, says, don't drink your own bathwater because you'll probably get sick. That's the idea. You can't be walking around with egotism and vanity. Now, there's a difference between being confident and being secure in yourself. That's different. But being egotistic and vain, that's something completely different, and that's fatal to your success. 29, guessing instead of thinking. Most people are too indifferent or lazy to acquire facts with which to think accurately. They prefer to act on opinions created by guesswork or snap judgments. Number 30, lack of capital. This is a common cause of failure among those who start out in business for the first time without sufficient reserve of capital to absorb the shock of their mistakes and to carry them over until they've established a reputation. Now, listen, I've known lots of people that start out in business with not a lot of money. And there are businesses that you can do that, where you can start out with not a lot of money and you can get off the ground and start earning money fairly quickly. But there's nothing worse than being under financial pressure and having to make a sale, for example, if you're in sales, in order to pay your bills. Now, you might be in that boat, maybe you've put yourself in that boat, but I wouldn't suggest that you make a decision like that. Don't put yourself under that kind of pressure. But there's lots of ways to start earning money while you're working full-time in your job. And then he adds 31 here. Under this, name any particular cause of failure from which you have suffered that has not been included in the foregoing list.